All right. Going for number 2 on the day. Are we entertained? Should be able to hold you with the truth, right? That's what we're always pushing. There's too much of the other stuff going on. You have to have a 2% mentality. We don't want to follow the herd, the 98%, the losers, the ones that be in loss review, right? Because they're undisciplined, they're disobedient, they're rebellious, they're monitoring and predatory, those types of spirits. You got to want to do it differently, right? So let's do it differently. Let's base ourselves or base our approach on a solid foundation of truth. It's good to come in here and do these messages because it holds me accountable. Investing is easier than trading because trading is leverage and it causes a lot of damage if you don't know what you're doing. But investing gives you more leeway. You can go into the negative and it don't feel so bad. So we're going to come in here with these 2 stocks because today we're talking about leverage, how to stay under leverage rather than over leveraging, right? And we're utilizing the basic scale of 100. These 2 stocks are under $1. So we're knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone, hence the 10-minute 2-piece. We create the trends. We don't follow trends, right? We do what we're supposed to be doing. And hopefully it catches like wildfire and everybody's like, wow, yeah, this is where we should be right here. The community of traders. This is what we're developing because we thought we had a real community of traders, but we noticed that there's a lot of predators out here that really just want you to buy their program. So I came in here to show you that you don't have to pay me anything. Now, if it does well for you and you want to send a donation, the email is in the information location of the video of the channel. You should say thank you if it does something for you, right? That's paying it forward, right? I scratch your back, you scratch my back on a solid foundation of truth, right? Hit the like button, share the video, that kind of thing when it's the truth, right? Not an opinion. But people won't even do that. They're so selfish that they can't even hit the like button. I talked about this for years, dealing with other communities and other groups and people who have pages. And I'm trying to get people to understand, if you're following people, hit the like button, especially if it's helping you. You should help by simply hitting like. Oh, well, I don't really know if I support this. You don't support the truth, see? Because we're going to make it clear that this channel is about the truth. And if you support the truth, then why don't you hit the like button? Because you're selfish. I already got the answers. That's what we do here. We come up with all the answers. We ain't got no excuses around here. Get to the business, right? So we got Genius, GNS, and SKYQ. Imagine that. Last year we passed the Genius Act. It's just a coincidence because if we go to Google and we look it up, you just type the ticker in and then explain because we deal with AI. AI will figure it out and they'll give you a nice little explanation right there. You can go in and look up any stock you want. Everything we do here, you can look up on Google. The truth, because it's the truth that sets you free, right? So the basic scale of 100. Now I got these pictures here and they're very small and I'm not going to be able to tell you the price without cutting off the video or the voice. So I'm just going to roughly say GNS was done fairly well. I bought it down towards 36, below 40. Now, if I pull up the basic scale of 100 on stocks that are $1 and below, you see how the scale looks. You can add zeros, you can take them away. That $1 can be $10 and it could be $100. It could be $1,000. And then the scale still looks the same, whether you add zeros or you come down to the very last compound. The last hurrah, we call it down here. This is the last hurrah. Is it going to make it, or is it going to go to zero? Is it going to go bankrupt and all that, right? So as we look up the stock, now I didn't just pull these stocks out of nowhere. Somebody put me on to them. So I'm like, okay, now that I understand what I developed, the basic scale of 100, I'm under leveraging, because I said at $1.50 for 100 shares is $150. Well, you can go lower than that. What's below $1.50? 15 cents. Now, if I take the number 15 cents and I move the decimal over, it'll be $1.50. And if I move it again, it'll be $15. If I move it again, it'll be $150. See? The discount, the lowest level of discount is 15 cents on stocks. And you can use it for crypto, but we're not going to talk about crypto. We're talking about the stock market, because crypto is different. So we have these two stocks. You see one's at 60 cents and the other's at 37 cents, like they're flipped. I bought one at 36 cents and it's at 60 cents. And I bought the other one at 64 cents, but the price is at 37 cents. So you can still get caught up in the okie doke. I was still developing what I understand at this point. So I bought at 65. As you see on the scale, 65 is a discount. That's why I bought 500 shares at 65 cents, because that's a decent discount. Cost me $300. 100 shares at 64 cents is $64. You multiply that times 5, which is $300. But if you look at how I entered, I actually bought 100 shares at $1.60, around the $1.50 range. And then it cut in half, and then it cut in another half. So at $1.50, it cut in half to 60, and then from 60, it cut in half and went to 30, right? You see? So if I put 100 shares down here at 37 cents, and then it goes back up to $1.50, I can go and remove the entries that were incorrect, and then will leave me with just 100 shares at 37 cents. I can dollar cost average. I basically dollar cost average on the way down and then allow it to grow back up. How do I know it's going to go back up? I don't know that it's going to go back up, but I do know that we are in quantitative easing. We're no longer tightening. That means we're cutting interest rates and are about to print tens of trillions of dollars, and it's going to go to the market. This is what everybody's waiting on. That's why we're waiting on Jerome Powell to cut interest rates and all that, because they're going to print all this money and they're going to implement it. They're going to implement the money. They're not going to print the money and just sit on it. They're going to implement that money, and the money will go to the market. That means there's going to be a transfer of wealth happening, where you want to be on the train, because once the train leaves the station, you're going to get left. I don't want you to get left. That's why I'm doing these videos. I decided to do 2 videos a day for the whole year, come up with 750 videos, consistently nailing you with the truth, and allow you to make your decision, educated decision, executive decision on how to analyze and position your money properly without over leveraging. Over leveraging. You don't want to over leverage. You want to under leverage. That's why I break down how much in shares, 100 shares, like for stocks per se. You can't just buy one share. Once it gets under $1, you have to buy a minimum of 100 shares. Most brokers are like that. So at 65 cents, where I bought SKYQ, I had to buy 100 shares for $64. But I bought times 5. I bought 300. Well, no, that's not how it worked. I keep saying that. No, I bought at 150 and it came down to 65. And then I bought at 65 and then it went down to 30. And I bought down at 40, I believe. And then it averaged out to 64 cents. So I'm saying that to say I didn't put 1,000 on it. No, I put hundreds on it, not thousands, because you want to use as little of your money as possible. Even if I had $1,000 to put on it, I would not do that. I'm putting in increments of 100. and allowing it to get from 64 cents to $64, from $1.50 to $150 a share, right? That's the goal. Buy low at discounts, sell high at premiums. I really don't have a real intention on selling. I'm growing capital. And once it gets up there, it's building generational wealth. If these companies are what they say they are, then they'll be the next Oracles and the next Googles and the next Meta and the next Apple and the next Tesla. See, $350 a share, $1,000 a share, the next Netflix. But I bought it at 64 cents. So I think that's enough for today. I have to put this into the universe and then it'll come back, right? You got to know the math. That comes straight from the hand of God. Doing for others what you, as you would want them to do for you, without being predatory, because you can work that too. Oh, I'm just going to be a predator for life. And then you prey on people and they're going to come prey on you. Right? That's just how it goes. You put it in and that's what you're going to get out. And you know who we do this for the people, not the prophets. It's the consistency and persistency that wins in the market. To beat the market, you must become the market. And the market moves with integrity through its price. And if you lack the integrity of the price, then you're going to get wrecked. You'll be in loss review doing the kumbaya, right? While we over here at TPC, we going to the moon. It just is what it is. Don't hate, cooperate, right?